Good morning!
Sound of our teen sports listeners, I'm your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hey, what a beautiful day. I'm giddy, I'm telling you. I don't know, it's probably because we have an amazing guest today. And I'm so excited. We've been trying to coordinate schedules now for months and months and months. And without further ado, let's all put our hands together. We got Renee Dutton in the house. Renee is not only an author, not only a creator, but a community powerhouse of positivity. Okay. If you look up Renee Dutton, honestly, it's going to say see kindness, because that's what it's about with her. Honestly, I've known her for a lot of years. Our kids went to school together, and I would say it's really it's a ministry. I'm going to go really spiritual here. It's like really it's her mission and her purpose in life. And she discovered it early, and this is what she's doing. And I'm so excited that she's here today and going to help us, talk about what she's doing. And, she's going to inspire us with all her stories and tips for young creatives. I'm really excited about that. Second up, what we have today, we've got Skye is in the house, and he's going to round out after, 2-3 months now. He's on stage 12, his healing segments, and I really like this because it's practice for teens, focusing on stress recovery, breath work, mental well-being for our student athletes, because this isn't stuff that I've ever talked about when I was a kid. When you got hurt and you're bleeding, you got a bag of ice. So it's all different now with this new generation of kids. Okay.
No more drinking out of the water hose.
Yeah. We don't drink out of the hose. Okay. Which is thirsty. You got that hose in the back of the school. We all lined up drinking that. Anyway, speaking of hose, we've got then Dominique, you're going to be talking about hydration and food as medicine. And how deep are we going to go with that?
Oh, we're going to have fun. We'll keep it inspiring, but we're going to talk about when you put ice in your cup.
Okay,
what happens to your hydration?
You're poking it and laughing at me right now. Okay,
I am.
I've been telling people, I drink water all day. Well, I fill it with ice. So then I measured. I'm only drinking like 25, 30 ounces. I need to drink like over 100 ounces. But with these containers I have holds the ice for days, right? So I'm sipping. It's like, I'm not really drinking the fluid, right? Because the content is all ice, because I like my cold water. So that was actually really kind of funny. So we've got, Don, what are you going to talk about today?
I'm going to talk about tempering patience with impatience. No, tempering impatience with patience.
Nice. Very nice. Okay. So then, of course, we've got Christine Marie, and she does everything intuitively. So I don't even know if she can answer right now what she's going to talk about. But, you got a couple of minutes to let it come through you. Okay. Through the cosmos, because what we'll do, okay, before you get started, is let's reach out to the community. I'll let you go first, Christine, because we like to, I'm seeing more and more stores open up here in this town. I'm really excited. I've been asking other friends in other neighborhoods, towns, cities, and everything, if the same thing is happening where they live, and it is. So things are starting to move. The needle is moving. I'm really excited. Christine, do you know of anybody you want to give some love to?
Yes, I want to give love to the Isla Vista Food Co-op, especially the downtown branch. If nobody knows, about a year ago, the Isla Vista Food Co-op went into where Cantwell's used to be on Arriaga and State. And
You're kidding! I didn't know that. Over a year ago?
Yeah, and it made me so happy because when I was in college, I worked at the Ivy Food Co-op, and I think co-ops are just amazing. And I think I've heard that the co-op is struggling a little bit, and I think it's so important to keep co-ops going. They're these community centers, and they're just wonderful. So everybody go to the food co-op, either in Isla Vista or here in Santa Barbara. It's fabulous.
Wonderful.
Oh, that's awesome.
Super.
We need to go do that.
All right, Dominique.
I want to give a shout out to Island Seed and Feed. They're kind of tucked away. If you've never been there before, you go out to Fairview and Hollister, and then you kind of do that tiny little road that's right next to McDonald's, and I think there's a laundromat or something, and you keep going all the way to the very end, and then they're on your left-hand side. I'm dyslexic. And wow, Island Seed and Feed has plants. They They work with a native company. I'm trying to remember who it is, but they have plants that you can put in your garden that you can either do with your landscape or growing vegetables and herbs. And if you want to
we get our chickens there. We get our baby chickens there.
We get baby chicks there. We get chicken feed. They have things for dogs, all sorts of animals. They have bulk things that you can buy. But just huge shout out to Island Seed and Feed.
Sweet. Don Sanders, you have anybody?
I'm going to go in my community. I'm going to give a shout out to the local farmers markets that happen here on Sunday and Thursday. They're a great place for community gathering and for, exchanging ideas and connecting. And we get lots and lots of great local produce.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Great.
And other goodies, like fresh baked goods, coffee, all kinds of things.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Well, Renee, can't not let you be included in this, even though you're a little bit down south of us. I mean, you know a lot of peeps.
I am. I'm in Westlake Village, and I have to say the favorite thing here is the farmers market.
Nice.
Well, so it's just nice to have everything fresh. It's not been sitting in containers.
That's it. Being gassed and sprayed and all that good stuff. Absolutely. All right. Well, let's do this. We are going to have Christine. We're going to get to know you, okay, in the next section, what you've been doing and how you've been doing it. Then Christine Marie is going to be pulling you a card, okay, and that's going to be very important. You're going to be wanting to listen to this and re-listen to it. I often listen to Christine's readings because they're always spot on because she's magical. Okay. All right. So let's get to it. We've got some commercials. We got some love. We got to share. We'll be right back with more. My name is Erica, the Queen of Teen. We'll be back with more after these messages.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
We're back. Okay, so we are going to get down here in the weeds. All right, Dominique, you're going to ask the first question. We have our guest in the house today, Renee Dutton. Okay. Like I had said, she's about the power of kindness. Dominique, what's the question?
Yes. So, Renee, what inspired you to start all your writing and creativity? And tell us a little bit about the first project that came to life for you and inspired you to pursue this.
Thank you. First of all, I just want to say thank you for having me here with Teen Sports Radio, Erica, and all of you amazing people. You can just feel this incredible energy. So thank you. So it was a lifetime. I didn't necessarily get it real early on. It took years of difficult experiences, which I'm so grateful for now because that is what has taught me. Those experiences have taught me everything that I know today. It forced me into literally Googling and YouTubing for hours every day for years to try to learn everything I could about feeling better, being better. And I have realized that without a doubt, the easiest way to feel better is to do something kind for someone else, to get outside of yourself. It is the fastest way out of pain. And I also have a lot of tools and tips. So my first project was a compilation book, Dominique, to answer your question. Ignite Possibilities. And I wrote about losing my voice for 9 months, not just metaphorically, but literally. I had no voice. And I was having a hard time getting air. So the doctors decided to laser open my trachea, but it ended up paralyzing my vocal cord. And 7 surgeries later, they said I would never speak again. But I'm speaking again. And I now know that was just part of the journey. That was just part of my path. And it was showing me that I had lost my voice long before I physically lost my voice. I wasn't using it. So that is why I'm writing. I'm being vulnerable. I didn't necessarily plan on writing my solo book, The Sunshine Effect, because it's very vulnerable. And I used to be a private person. I guess I'm not anymore. But I believe we're all here to help one another. And if your experiences and what you've been through and are able to shorten somebody's pain even a little bit, I think it's our responsibility to do that.
That's amazing. It all came through, an illness. It's like, heels to heaven, God, please help me. And then you dug yourself out, and then look at the joy and the light that you're shining on the world because of it. Barbara.
Yes. Hi. With Renee, we have that common theme of sickness towards more art and more connection and joy. But yes, with the thyroid cancer I had, I could have lost my voice. And again, I've lost my voice far before being sick. So it's definitely something I can relate with Renee. And it's very powerful to go through that.
Yeah, definitely. Don, you got a question?
Yeah. So could you tell us about maybe one of your favorite creations or projects or things that you've been involved with so far with that, that leaves, you can't have enough hope right now in these times we're going through. So for the benefit of everybody listening.
Was that question for me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. My favorite project by far is the one that I'm currently working on. I started the Global Kindness Movement, but I have partnered with a massive media corporation, and we have created something called the Kindness Impact. And it is massive media approach. So we have magazines, books, worldwide summits. We're working on a docu-series, some films, and trying to teach the world about how good it feels to get outside of yourself and to do kind things for others. Also trying to shift the cultural norm of looking out for yourself first. Because when you look out for others, it creates this ripple effect of kindness. It's impossible almost to watch an act of kindness and not be affected by it. So whether you're receiving it, whether you're giving it, you produce, almost in all cases, you produce all those feel-good chemicals, oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin, GABA. And we really want to educate the world that we don't need to go to the pharmacy. We just need to be more aware of each other and kinder to one another.
It's a hard thing to do for a lot of people because they're so in their own mind, they're running a loop, a program in their brain, and a lot of it's self-sabotage, and a lot of it is they're scared. Christina is always good at wrapping, putting some understanding to all of this.
No, I think it's beautiful. I think I don't know. I've lately, that's what I look for if I scroll on YouTube ever, something like that. I'm always looking for stories about kindness that really make me feel better. I just think it's so important. And I have been I have experienced that sense of feeling frustrated and really just helping somebody else. It really helps,
It really does.
It makes a difference. Yeah. Tell me, what do you, what advice do you have for young people or teens who want to start their own projects and share their voice with the world? Or tell us.
Just start. It doesn't have to be perfect. They say fail fast and fail early, and then you pivot and you figure it out. You're not necessarily going to get it exactly perfect the first time. Just start. And don't be afraid to ask for help and get mentors.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, okay, so this is my favorite part. Hey, do you want to get a reading from Christine Marie? She does a view from the deck. She's really popular, okay, and she's a powerhouse.
Okay, so I'm just going to have you tell me when you want me to stop shuffling.
Okay, just breathe into it, okay, Renee? Do out the nose, in the mouth.
Now,
Okay, now would you like me to pick from the top, the bottom, or the middle?
bottom.
Okay, look at you right away. Okay, so we'll do 3 cards if that's okay.
She's going to do 3. You lucky.
Yeah, I just worked. So this is the 8 of Swords, and really what it talks about is that that you might be feeling a little bit, especially mentally, like you don't know where to go next, like a little bit stuck. But it's not. It's just that all the information isn't in yet, and you'll be able to move through very quickly as soon as the information comes in. Yeah, and then so for the next card, do you want me to pick from again the top, the bottom, or the middle?
Bottom.
Bottom again. Okay. So this is the past, and I kind of put them together here. This is the Prince of Cups. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that? So the Prince of Cups, there he is right there. And he's all about exploration and mystery and romance. He's kind of like, it's really about like really exploring. So it would say to me that in the recent past, you've been sort of exploring your options, looking at what you want to do next. Really, he's not super big on commitment, right? So it's like, the sense for me is that it's like you've been looking at different options for something you've been wanting to, you've been exploring. And then now in the present moment, you're feeling like, well, I'm not quite sure what to do, right, about a certain aspect in your life. But there's still more information to come. And so it will free up for you. Does that make sense? Does that resonate at all? Okay. And then let's pick a third card for the future. Is top, bottom, or middle?
Top.
Okay. Now the top is the Justice card. I'm going to show it to you first like this. And it's a card of discernment. It's a card of, and here they're all 3 together. It kind of makes a really cool picture. I don't know if you can see it. So it's a card of discernment, and it's a card of sort of taking your timeline. And I think you already do this. It's sort of like who you are and what you do, right? But it's taking your timeline and looking at your life for all of the little blessings, right? Like taking your life, and especially the blessings that didn't look like blessings at the time, which you have been speaking about already, right? Because it really helps us to take stock and reframe. I call it a reframe or flipping the coin. And so it would say to me that all the exploration you've been doing in the recent past, and then the kind of feeling in a not stuck, but maybe a little bit stuck about what to do next. But what that's going to involve, what's going to happen next, is it's really about taking stock, looking again at the past and seeing those places, especially the ones that are, I like to think of it as those little grits that got stuck in our craw, like especially in our early childhood and in our teen years, that really become pearls of wisdom as we're coming into the, maybe into midlife or whatnot. But it takes life to really coat those and help us. It's like our wounds are our doorway to our gifts. Right. Wow. And so there's some more gifts that you're going to find. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So
what I see here is being patient. And I'm very happy to say that there's an amazing intuitive counselor, Ellen McKenzie, that I go to. I've been going to since my mom passed 2009. And a lot of times when I'm like losing it, she goes, you know something, you signed up for this. You wrote your script. There's nothing for you to do. Just trust. Okay, just trust. And a lot of times, the problem that I do is I overtrust, and then I get myself in trouble because I didn't verify. It's a very important aspect of trust is to verify. Okay, let me just tell you. Okay, but I think you are doing all the work that you need. You're lining up all the pawns. Okay, all the soldiers, because you've got the king, queen, you've got the power behind you. So all you're just doing is, you're setting, it's setting a table right now, Renee. It's what I see. And it is going to come to you. I know it. I feel it. I know it. And you're surrounding yourself with the right people. You're a good person. And your mission is important right now. I mean, the sharing and the loving is important right now. And people that are going to put themselves out there, and I know it makes you a target. I get it. Okay. Because sometimes people they don't stop being kind to me. It's crazy.
Well, kindness is a strength. It's not a weakness.
Right.
And there are some people that see it as a weakness, but I just completely disagree.
Yeah.
I
100%.
know Don can speak to this too. There's something about kindness that has to do with you're sharing your beingness. We're so used to kindness being an act of doing, but the foundation of it is you're sharing your beingness, and that makes a world of difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it does. And you're just a great mentor for our kids, for our next generation, and they need people like you to look up to and say, hey, this is a path. I like this path. Just to find out, self-awareness and expression. And again, you learned how to be where you're at. I mean, it wasn't like, oh, I knew all this. I just came into this with all this knowledge. No, you had to figure it out, and you learned. And that's what life is about, right? Learning and growing.
Yeah, the book is 22 chapters with 22 stories. So it was more than just losing my voice. It was it was a lot. And at some point you can't ignore, okay, there has to be a reason that I'm learning all this and going through all this. And as soon as that just hit me so clearly.
Right.
Renee, did you choose the number 22 for a specific reason?
No.
I just find it's powerful because there are 22 cards in the major arcana, and and there are also 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet because each one of the cards relates to a letter in the Hebrew alphabet, and it's such a magical number for me. So for you to say that, I was like, "Whoa, 22! That's awesome! That's cosmic."
We're gonna go. Renee, thank you. Stick around if you can. We'll be back with Skye after these messages.
Thank you.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Welcome back to Teen Sports Radio, everyone. This is Skye Ellsworth, and I'm a student at Life Chiropractic College West. And we have reached the end of the 12 stages of healing, which is not really the end because the end is really just the beginning, because you can repeat the cycle all over again. But learn more about the 12 stages of healing, and please go back and listen to all the previous stages leading up to this. And this is the pivotal moment, stage 12, where we take everything that we've done through the seasons of Discover, Transform, and Awaken. And this is still part of the season of Awaken, but we're going to take all of that and integrate it together, take ourselves connected with our community, and really live a new life. Really be a new person, but a person that exists as your own entity, but also as part of a community. So this is one of my favorite stages because it really is a culmination of all of the work that we've done to lead up to where we are. So just a quick review. In the season of Discover, we talked about really connecting with what we're feeling, with what we're experiencing, without trying to change it, without having the hunger to take what we're experiencing and turn it into something else, just because the cultural field or society says that we need to. No, Discover is about feeling what you're feeling, experiencing what you're experiencing, and allowing yourself to feel into it. Then we started to move into the season of Transform. Transform was all about identifying what was no longer working for us and replacing that and choosing something else, acknowledging what was no longer working, but moving on to something that is better serving for who we are in that moment. Then in the season of Awaken, which is where we are now, it's all about having more energy available to not only heal ourselves and feel what that feels like to be a new and more improved, energized version of ourselves, but how can we take all of this extra energy that we have and start to give back to the community? How can we use that to feel gratitude, to feel abundance, to feel resourced, and start to share that with a wider population? So, in stage 12, we're now identifying the community within, which could mean a lot of different things, and we're going to talk about that in a second, and connecting that with the community without. And that's going to be the somatorespiratory integration exercise that we're going to do. So when we talk about the community within, this can be a lot of different things, but it's really important in the season of Awaken to be grounded as well, to really have that strong foundation in who we are, because it's not about just being out in the community, helping everybody and being a part of this organization and that organization. We also need to have a strong, stable foundation in ourselves, because that community that you're serving is a reflection of you. And if those two things aren't in alignment, it can actually create pathology in the body. So we really want to make sure that we're secure in ourselves first. So what is the community within? The community within can be a lot of different things. I like to think about it as physiologically the community of cells inside of me, all 60 trillion or whatever cells that we have in our body, that community and that expression, connecting that outwards, but also the community of experiences that you've created and lived through your entire life. We don't want to get attached to the story, but think about the ancestry, the lineage that has led you to be who you are today. Your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, so on and so forth. All of that is a community that is within you and a part of who you are. So we want to experience that community and share all of those gifts that come from that lineage, all of those gifts that come from your DNA, your cells, from who you are. And we're going to share that with the community. But it's a two-way street. The community also gives back. So we also want to connect ourselves with the energy that already exists in the community around you and bring that in to yourself so that you can experience the gifts that the community has to offer as well. So in the last stage, in stage 11, we were taking our gifts and we were sharing them outward and then pulling them in, out. And we're really we're bringing that into our chest, to our center. We were springing up. We were kind of bending our knees a little bit and springing up and out, bringing our head back slightly but not too far, and pushing all of that energy outwards, sharing all of those gifts, but then also bringing the gifts in. So now we're taking that same concept and we're applying it to integrating everything that we've done, all of who we are, with the community that we're living in. So this one we're going to do standing up. I'm on a camera here, but I'm going to do my best to describe it for everyone listening. So we're going to do this standing up, and we're going to start by reaching down and touching our feet. So ideally, you may have to stretch a little bit, but ideally we want our palms to be touching the bottoms of our feet and the ground at the same time. Then we're going to trace our hands up our legs, and we're going to feel every part of our body that we can. So we're going to come up the shins, we're going to come up the calves, we're going to come over the perineum, we're going to come up into the stomach, up into the chest, neck, face, head, top of the head, and then straight up with your hands reaching out. And then as our hands are reaching out, we're going to pull all of that back down and in, back to the head. Our hands are touching our face, coming down our face, coming down our neck. Our hands are touching our body the whole time. Down our chest, down our stomach, over the perineum, down over the quads, over the knees, and then shins, and then back to the feet and back to the floor. So the breathing for this is going to be mouth-mouth. So you're going to go in through the mouth and out through the mouth. So there's a lot of energy here that we're building. And as we're bringing our hands up, we're going to be inhaling. We're going to exhale. Inhale. This was when the breathing is a little tricky. So you're going to inhale up to about the middle of your body. Then you're going to exhale as you go from the middle of your body. So let's say just below your rib cage. You're going to inhale. You're going to exhale up, and your arms up toward the sky. And then as you bring your arms back down to your face, that's going to be on the inhale. And then as you reach about mid-chest, the rib cage again, you're going to exhale down. So that's a little bit tricky. I got a little hung up there. So we're going to do the same. I'm going to repeat the same thing over again. So you're going to inhale halfway up as you're starting from your feet. And then as you reach to about your rib cage, you're going to exhale up as you bring your hands up over the face to the sky, reaching up and out. And then you're going to inhale your hands back down. So now as you're inhaling, you're bringing in all the gifts of the community, and you're bringing that down as your hands come down your face to your chest, mid rib cage. You're going to exhale down as you bring your hands down to the feet and to the ground. And then again, as you're on the inhale coming from the feet coming up, this is when you're thinking about your lineage, your ancestry, all the cells in your body, everything that is a part of who you are and what you're sharing, the community within you and the community from your past, your lineage, all of that. You're bringing that up, and out and sharing that as you bring your hands up and off the body and straight out toward the sky. So that's the exercise.
This reminds me of the sun salutation. It's kind of that natural, when you bend over and you touch the ground, that's kind of a natural time to exhale because you're squishing your diaphragm. And then as you come up, it's kind of natural to take an inhale and then exhaling it out to the heavens and then inhaling. It's very natural.
I have a hernia right now, so I can't be doing this yet.
But you're looking forward to it.
But I'm looking forward to this one, stage 12, coming soon for Erica.
Yes, and you can visualize it.
Oh, absolutely. I can watch you do it.
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Yes.
And I was watching Skye do it.
Yes. So how many times do you do this, Skye?
Just until you really feel that sense, usually a few times, but really until you feel that strong sense of connection with the community that you're living in, the community in your body and the community outside. There's going to be a moment where you feel those two merge, and you're just going to feel kind of weightless but grounded at the same time. And you just want to hold on to that. And that's just really what being in stage 12 is all about. And bringing this back to the teens and the athletes that are listening to this is really, really important for when you start to experience enough energy to start to share with your community. So I know a lot of us, especially as athletes, I imagine, we have all of this energy inside of us, and we're like, oh, I want to do this. I want to participate in student council. I want to, participate in this bake sale to raise money for the basketball team, whatever, all of these different things. But it's really important to also have energy for yourself, to recognize that, yes, there's this community out here, and it is amazing to serve them, but also there's a community within you, and it's those gifts that are the gifts that you're sharing, and it's the energy of the community that you're also receiving.
Wow.
That is so beautiful. It's so complete, and also ending with gratitude.
Definitely. Always gratitude. Yeah. And we are so grateful to have you part of this show. And I'm so thankful that you're going to be coming down to Santa Barbara and visiting us for a few days. So that's a plus, 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 plus. So how do we get a hold of you?
You can email me at thrivehivechiropractic@gmail.com.
Awesome. Okay. We will see you soon.
Thank you so much, Skye and Sonia. Thank you. Okay,
we'll be back with more messages.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
For Teen Sports Radio, I'm Don Sanders. Don's MassageOhio.com, 805-236-2684. And I'm here to bring you a hygge, which is a Scandinavian term for a comfy, cozy feeling, kind of like getting a hug without actually getting the physical hug. And I wanted to just, Renee gave a beautiful account of her journey and where she is going with projects in her life. And I just wanted to kind of double down in a way on that with, we all have a mission. We all have a mission in being born, or we wouldn't be born. And I think what she said was beautiful about, as we get through the things that cause us pain and suffering in our own lives, and we try and transform those into something useful, then we always have to look to how can we become more part of our own community? How can we lift people up? So that means we got to withhold judgment, not be impatient. And in these times especially, because I don't know about you all, but I can't read through the news of what's happening on any given day now in our country and in the world, and not feel some very strong emotions all over the map. So what I like to do with that is translate that into doing something to help out, like my immediate neighbors. I live in a little cul-de-sac, and a lot of people in this town don't even remember that it's here sometimes, and we all kind of like it that way. and over the years, I've been able to create bonds with those people, and get together at holidays and share sufferings and things like that. And it's all, what Renee and others here in the show today have all been talking about, very consistent with the long range goals of the Buddhist practice I've been in for about 40 plus years. And, which is, we all have tendencies. In my early life, I was impatient, angry, resentment, had a lot of anxiety, and it's not like I ever have to quit battling those things. But I've just replaced that with a lot of moving forward, climb another mountain, see what I can do for somebody else, and we've forged, my wife and I have forged a happy marriage, have two wonderful children, and I have another one from a previous marriage. We have our first grandson because of her and her husband. So whatever's happening, teens, in your life right now, never give in to the immediate sufferings of the moment. Look for a long, broad range view, even when your challenges seem right up in your face. Okay? Because there's an inner joy and a fulfillment that cannot be destroyed by any outside influence that's a potential in your life. You have the potential for establishing a genuine independence that is absolute and indestructible, a life free from illusions and sufferings. So I want you, all you teens, all you listeners, to forge that kind of a life for yourself.
Beautiful. Renee, add some little magical dust on top of that.
That was pretty incredible. Not too much to add to it, except that I agree. And kindness is cool. I think that is, let's get rid of the bullies. Let's make it not cool to be a bully.
Yeah, it's true. I love that. It's crazy. And you just have to be grounded in the understanding of bullies, and they're just afraid, Dominique.
Indestructible. I mean, Don, there are some words that you use because you are a reader and you remember, the quotes of famous people who have done wonderful things with their lives, and you share that. Having an indomitable spirit. I mean, these words are really important for teens to take in and assimilate. And we can create a life of purpose even when we're not in alignment or we're feeling what do you call it? We're not in harmony with certain things going on. Yes. You can still build the foundation of a life in alignment and bring the world into being that you want.
Absolutely.
So true. So listen, we've got like 3 minutes left, but I want to give Renee, a minute or so to tell us how we can enjoy you've got quite a library of work that if anybody wanted to go check it out, how would they do that?
Well, my personal website is theglobalkindnessmovement.com. And I invite you also, though, to go to the Kindness Impact, because the Kindness Impact is this massive media series, an opportunity to do big things or little things. We are looking to have 1 million personal quotes on kindness, compassion, or empathy. And we are going to print them in the Coffee Table magazine as well as the online magazine. And the first 50 people will even have their quotes put in our compilation books. So as well as about 12 other sources. So we want people to be known for these quotes. We want to shift what the world is talking about from the negative news to all the wonderful, kind things in the world. And that's why we're just really focusing on writing about the philanthropists and the wonderful things that are going on in the magazine and the stories of kindness in the compilation books.
Beautiful. You also have a book out there. How do we get a hold of that?
Yeah, my book, The Sunshine Effect. You can probably the easiest way is to get it on Amazon. It's in several bookstores, but definitely on Amazon.
Beautiful. And I hear, Dr. D, during the break, you're going to be joining his show. Tell me your story. Is this like, I'm really excited about that. You're going to be texting me so I can jump and listen to that. So I'm excited for that. I'm absolutely so thankful that we got to touch base again. It's always been, it's just a joy just to, reconnect with somebody that you've known for so many years. It's kind of like, we just reconnected in a way of like we haven't missed a beat between each other, which is super nice. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining us today on Teen Sports Radio. You are on KZSB AM 1290, FM 96.9. This is the station that talks about Santa Barbara. I want to thank Dominique, Skye Ellsworth, Don Sanders, of course, Renee Dutton, our wonderful producer, who's here. God, he's like my brother from a different mother. Okay, 15 years is a long time, Dr. D, you got to say. So listen, what we're trying to do here, and since day one for the last 15 years, is we're setting up our teens, helping you live your best, healthy, and most authentic life. So teens, hug it out. Remember this, I say this every week, you just be you, because everybody else is taken. God bless you. See you next week.